A warm welcome to the Find Your Fire Tribe. It is another Fire Friday. And for those of you who are not sure who I am, I'm Wendy Orching, founder of Healing Spaces Caribbean, yes, Master Feng Shui Consultant, and Tribe Mom of the Find Your Fire Tribe. And every Friday, we bring a special personality for you to help you reignite your sense of adventure, inspire you, or in any way elevate your chi. Today's special guest with me is Veronika Danzer La Fortune. Some of you will have already heard her name because she's quite famous in Tobago and in Trinidad as being the founder and CEO of Healing with Horses and Being with Horses. She is a most fascinating woman, one that I have had in my life for many years, Veronika, and I'm honored to have her share her story and her time with us today to inspire the tribe. Veronika, welcome.
Oh, thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy, for inviting me in that healing circle, I say, to the Fire Tribe. Thank you for being the pilot. You are pulling us here together. And I'm so grateful to be able to share my story here with you.
But Veronika, we are delighted to have you. And I wanted to ask you, you're definitely not Tobagonian. You came from Germany, right? So could you tell the tribe what brought you to live and make your base and do all of your wonderful work in Tobago when the world was your oyster? What brought you to Tobago from Germany?
Yeah, in 2004, Jean Lyons invited me to spend some time in Tobago with her, to hear the coquelicot, to play mass with silver stars. So I came here on the 11th of February 2004 as a tourist. Jean Lyon, maybe some of you guys know her. She lives presently in Frankfurt, but she is from Tobago originally. And she's a dear friend of mine. I also call her my guardian angel, who brought me to Tobago. So she invited me to play mass with her in Trinidad. So we went to Trinidad for 3 days, and then she invited me for a beautiful, relaxing, rejuvenating holiday in Tobago. And that was it. I felt that special vibe of Tobago. And what really, got me was the simplicity of the island. Having traveled the world quite a lot I was before married to an African. I was living in the States, and I never felt that feeling of contentment as I did in Tobago in 2004. And I decided I will make it my home. But it was not just like that, of course. I met a very, very special soul, my husband, Lennon La Fortune. And we started a life here together in 2006.
And Veronika, when you were in your other life before Tobago, you were involved with horses, correct? Could you tell us a little bit about your life there and the skills that you brought to Tobago?
Mm-hmm. I want to start with a little story about my childhood. I had a beautiful childhood, and I grew up in a little village in South Germany. 200 people were living there. My parents built a house there, and I also had a little stable beside my house. My father and my mother supported me with the care and love I always had for animals. And when I was 17, I started to I went to a special place in South Germany, in Munich, where you become a horse trainer, where you become someone who would go and teach people how to ride. And something didn't feel right to me when I was 19, 2 years later. And I stopped because, we had to break in horses, we had to train horses. And somehow I felt like, it's like turning something into something maybe they don't even want to. We used harsh equipments, we used spores and whips unlike what we do here at Healing with Horses. So that was the start. I started conventional, but I stopped because I didn't feel right to me 100%. And then when I was 21, I had the chance to play a big part in a horse musical in Europe, where I was showing horses, and it was something like a circus. We were 250 people, 65 horses. I made a lot of money, but you know, at the end of the story, it was show business, and it didn't fulfill my heart.
Does it look like this?
So you can see me in the center here, riding one of the horses.
Well, we can't tell which
so
one.
Because we all look the same. We were wearing top hats and white pants, and so 10 shows a week. We traveled Europe. It was always a couple months. We were living. We were in Berlin for two months. We were in Hamburg for 2 months. We were in Amsterdam for 2 months. We were in Belgium and Utrecht for 2 months. In Holland. So different countries, different cities. It was a wonderful experience. And I think all of that, what I experienced before, made me for who I am now, and what I don't even want to say practice or how I work with horses. We live with them now, you know. The horses now became a part of our family. The horses in the show business and as a horse trainer, they're basically tools. And that is something which, you know, I sometimes go and say, you know, when you have a child, and I know that there are people out there, they say, yes, you know, and when he's 20, he's gonna start a career as a doctor, because he's gonna be a doctor, or she's gonna be a lawyer. But, you know, it is so important that you let that soul, and I live and practice that now with the animals. I don't make them into something. I don't make a horse anymore into a show jumper or into a dressage horse. What we do, and this is one of our most exciting part here for me, when we rescue a new horse, we let them run free on the beach, and we let the horse, it's like many horses we have here, they never experienced that sense of freedom. They have been always walked on a lead rope, you know. So, and it's something very, very beautiful to witness. And that is what we share now with people. Yeah.
Veronica, tell us then, when you came to Tobago to live in 2006, what did you do?
So we started to live here in Buku. We found that beautiful little house, and you know, when you go and start living somewhere else, you have a wish list. So we started to plant some trees in our yard, and another thing on my wish list was a horse. But in Tobago, nobody sells horses. In Trinidad, nobody sells horses. But you know what happened? 2 months later, some of you guys maybe know Manfred Hirschman tapped on my shoulder when I was at the airport bringing back a friend who had to go back, who came here for a visit. Said, you know, there is a horse in Speyside up in Starwood behind Blue Waters Inn. She's there since 6 years, Jennifer. And we need to find a place for her, because we would like to develop the land. And you know, I say, you know, Jennifer is actually really the founder of Being and Healing with Horses, and my biggest schoolmaster, because I really learned to listen to horses through her. So what happened is that I visited Jennifer up at the estate in Starwood behind Blue Waters Inn, and at the beginning she actually was running away from me because she was a free wild horse. She was a free spirit. And you know, I don't think that she needed people. She looked great, but I wanted to have her with me, living with me in my yard. And I wanted her to become friends with me. So what I did is basically, or what she encouraged me, I needed to be patient, just, you know, and I needed to find out what she, how could I gain her trust? And, you know, likewise, like what I experienced in Trinidad and Tobago, what people did with me, they fed me with Creole food and starch mangoes and chili mangoes. And I thought, you know, it's great. So that's what I did with Jennifer. I brought her mangoes, I brought her crickets. I gave her my time and my love and my care. And still when I speak about it now, you know.
I see that. I see that your heart is involved. Is this a picture of Jennifer?
No, that's a picture of King's Council, okay. Another horse which we adopted.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell the audience that this is how you typically see the horses at Healing with Horses. Mm-hmm. Running free, swimming free. You notice there's no bridle, no saddle. They have their freedom. They play, they roll, they swim on the beach. Yes, they also do work, but when they're not working, this is what they're doing. And it's because of the philosophy that Veronica has now, having gone through the circuit, the business circuit with the horses, and deciding that she wanted to do the natural way instead. This is now how she lives with her horses. Veronica, back to you. I just wanted to show that picture because I found it.
And Wendy, big credits to you, because I was not able to put together a PowerPoint presentation. So I just sent a few pictures to Wendy, and she just, you know, had a chance now to download them. So thank you very much, Wendy.
I'm winging it with the pictures, guys, because I'm just going in her emails and pulling pictures. Yes, but we'll do it. We'll do what we can.
So touched by that incident, by that beautiful incident, that horse actually started to walk with me 6 months later out of the estate, where she was actually a happy, healthy horse, you know. And, you know, also what I learned as a horse professional working in Germany and in the States with horses, that horses actually, when they live freely out there, don't need people. A Mustang has a lifespan of 45 years. A lifespan of a racehorse is 20, you know, and it's because we domesticize the horses, because we put them in little kennels and little closets, and then we train them for an hour, and then we push them back in the closet, you know. So I am a big educator on that, you know, and when people come here, I tell them, this is a story I talk about almost every day, because it is so important, and it led me to where we are now, you know. And the animals, they are teaching us. Animals and nature are teaching us.
Veronica,
so
you walked down with Jennifer from the other end of Tobago. You walked this horse back down to Buku, correct?
Yeah, we walked together 20 hours very slowly. Yeah, we started walking at 10 o'clock in the morning, and very slowly we walked, you know, but, you know, I have that passion and I have that drive, and I would do it anytime again. And, you know, 100 years ago, people were walking from Buku to Speyside because they didn't have a car. They walked that way. We just got lazy.
You just got a big heart from Terry. Now, Veronica, given that you had Jennifer now as your number one horse, you then proceeded, if I'm correct, to rescue horses from Trinidad and other parts of Tobago and create a herd. Is that correct?
So, you know, yeah, that's true. You know, and it just, everything fell in place so beautifully, and everything unfolded so organically. So we never really planned on getting another horse. 2 months later, Jenny Hilton Clark, who many of you maybe know, another beautiful artist, she told me Louise Hearn, she would like to give away a horse from Friendship Estate. So this is Chavari, the second horse, which is behind me here. He didn't fit in their herd, you know. Over there, he was aggressive. They didn't wanted him anymore. And for me, it was like, wow, look at that. Jennifer becomes a friend, because Jennifer is a herd animal, but she was living alone for 6 years. So, and you know, when they met, you know, we also walked Chavari from Friendship Estate to us. When they met, it was really love at first sight. And they are still together. You know, Chavari is now 24 and Jennifer is 33.
Wow.
It's about that love and care, you know, where I have to give big kudos to my husband because he is there as we speak now with Jennifer. She isn't very well since 6 months, you know, giving her a lot of time and love. And that's what basically we share with everyone who comes to Healing with Horses.
Tell us how you got having two horses to having healing with horses and being with horses. Lead us on that journey. And how did that unfold in your heart? Because when you got Jennifer, I don't believe you were thinking like that, but it has all.
Yeah. Was a pet, and I walked her through the village to the beach, and then Chavari came, and then I had two horses walking them on the beach, just like other people walk their dogs, and none of them, you know, they were both not. We didn't ride both of them, and then we got a next horse, a little black horse, and she was basically the one who. Then I started to create the first flyer for the community because the children from the village, they actually wanted to learn to groom the horses, to walk them and ride them. So then the name Being with Horses came about because it's really that being with the animals and being out in nature, what I wanted to practice and celebrate. Unlike anything else I experienced or worked with horses before, I really wanted to change it. And so Kalakuntinu came, and we had 2, 3, 4 days a week when we invited children to come and play and be with the horses. And horses are, you know, they give us energy. When you bond with them, it's something really, really beautiful. Walking with them on the beach, and it's not about riding here. We are not a riding stable. It's about communing with this amazing, energetic animal. You know, for me, it's a symbol of freedom also. And when you did overcome your fears, and when you open your heart and you feel that that horse can actually be your equal team partner. Horses are so strong, but they're also so sensitive. And we as women, you know, we can feel so strong, but we are also so sensitive. And I think this is why I'm having horses in my life, because yeah, I feel very much like them, you know.
Now, Veronica, I see you seeing the picture that I have with your children, your young people, and one little pony, correct? You see everybody seeing that, yes?
Actually,
not
we
completely.
We don't see it. Yeah.
You're not seeing it?
We see the top half only.
Oh, dear me.
Trees.
Hold on. Wait a second. Why are you seeing trees? Okay, I have no idea. Okay, forget that. I'll try to do it better. Continue.
You know, I have a booklet here. This is a little thing what we are doing also at Healing with Horses. There are some friends and some volunteers communing at the park with the horses. So yeah. So yeah, these pictures say a lot, and I know Wendy, you're gonna get another picture up for us.
I will. The picture is great. It's just the way it's being seen. So I'm going to try to work on that. But Veronica, tell us what made you form the Healing with Horses Foundation. From going 2 horses that you were walking like doggies on the beach, and I remember meeting you when you were doing those 2 horses, to suddenly have 12 or 13 horses, and you are famous in Tobago. And to people who come to Tobago, for the experience that you give through these horses, and it's not, as you say, it's not a riding stable, it is an experience. Tell us how you developed into healing and being with horses. And I'll look for some pictures.
So we were inspired by the animals and also by people. In 2009, Untitled Chapter Foundation approached us, and they came from Washington, D.C. with 25 blind, visual impaired campers. They went on the reef, they did beach sessions with them, tropical sessions, and they approached us if we can give them an experience with the horses. And Ansel Torres is a Trinidadian. He lives in Washington, D.C. He's the one who said, and who inspired us and mentioned, you know, Len and Veronica, you should think of maybe registering your own foundation, because then you would be able to raise funds, raise awareness in a different way, in a wider angle. And that's what basically we did in 2010. So Healing with Horses was then registered in 2010. We registered a business before because, you know, we had to find a way to be sustainable. My husband stopped working as a carpentry and a builder in 2008 because minding horses is a, you know, 12-hour job per day. You know, you have to cut grass, you have to wash them, bathe them, feed them, exercise them. So before we had the partnership business Being with Horses, where we raise funds to, that is basically the way how we are sustainable, you know, where we give people a beautiful experience with the horses on the beach. And then the Healing with Horses Foundation is a foundation where we invite especially able children and adults. We also employ presently 5 of them to maintain the park and the horses to go and cut grass. Some of them have been, you know, at the Happy Haven School before, or the Tech Box Center, and now they're employed here. And I don't want to miss them. They're very beautiful people. They're very kind to animals. They're very honest. They're maybe very slow and maybe they forget, but they're very beautiful human beings. And it is important that we open up a space, you know, in our society for those people to feel also empowered and to feel needed. So that is, it's like with the ex-race horses, you know, those horses who have been neglected because they can't race more, we give them a space where they feel empowered and embraced again. And Wendy, you just showed the horse king swimming in the ocean. I have not seen that. That's like one of the biggest transformations I ever saw in a horse. He came to us 200 pounds less. He was at a big racer in Jamaica, and then he was a big racer in Trinidad, and he had an accident, and then he ended up at the Bonanza farm. And our equine dentist called us. She said, you know, this horse is so special. I actually care for him the last 6 months. I pay for his boarding, but they have no space for him anymore. So we opened up the space, and he came over with Navajo, and he was a very, very skinny horse. And now he's 20 years old. He's with us since 7 years, and he is living a life. We don't ride him, but he is a king now. You know, you can see it in his glow when he swims in the ocean. And the children walk him, they bathe him, they groom him, they feed him. They feel honored to mind such a proud animal. He is proud again. He looks proud again. And some children, you know, they feel very touched because they went kind of through they have a very similar story, you know. So we invite a home once a week. We have a home here at Signal Hill. These children come here once a week and they commune with these animals, you know.
When you say commune, what do you have them do with the animals actually, Veronica?
So they have their favorite animal. You know, beside the horses, we also have 9 dogs right now. So, and 1 pony, you know. They go and say hello, they greet them, and some of them bring a mango or bring a carrot, bring a banana peel. You know, Auntie, I saved that banana peel all week long in my fridge, and now I'm ready to give it to Winston. Winston is our smallest little pony. Winston is he's about 2 feet high. He's a miniature pony. And yeah, you know, everybody in their own way, you know, some of them, they connect rather with the ponies or the dogs instead of the big horses, but then there are others. Yeah, Aliyah and Zeynep just came. They have their favorite team partner, and these are teenagers, you know, which I'm talking about right now, who are volunteering as we speak. They have a really tough time right now in school, you know, or some of them preparing for just the SEA. They come here because they want to spend outside in nature with the animals, and they team up with that horse. So they make sure that their team partner, their friend, is cared for, and it fulfills them. And I think we have some animals, a big animal lover here in our circle. You know how that feels, you know?
That's for sure.
And then presently they bring them back from the grazing land. We feel so honored. We just got permission to let the horses graze before no man's land in that biggest day. So they are bringing back 10 horses right now through the village. And yeah, with the pride, they walk back down these horses back up to the park, and they feel as a leader, they feel I'm having that strong friend beside me, and my strong friend actually is carrying me, you know. And we have some programs also for young ladies, for women who need that feeling of being embraced and being carried because they have never felt that in their life before. Yeah. I think you get the essence, right? What I'm talking about.
Yes, indeed. Let me see if there are any questions in the chat for you. We have some comments when people say, you know, that's beautiful, it's just a part of it. Hi, Jenny, welcome. And but no questions. If you guys have any questions for Veronica, please feel free to type them in the chat. And those of you in Zoom, feel free to ask her while you have her here. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure Veronica would be happy to chat about them.
Yeah. The picture behind me is a beautiful picture, very old picture now. Abigail Hadid took that picture in 2010. At that time, we only had 5 horses. So we have here Princess Julie, who was born by us.
I think we lost Veronica. Stand by, guys. I think we lost Veronica.
Yeah, we did.
Oh dear. Was it something we said? Let's hope she can get back on. But meanwhile, I'd like to show you guys a couple of pictures that I actually was able to sort of string together while she was talking, which it was, you know, a little bit more, it was not quite what we'd planned, but here we are. Let's see if I can find them for you. And if anybody has any questions for Veronica, I'm trusting that she will come back on and be able to answer them. Okay, so let's try that. I just whipped this little thing together while she was talking from her pictures. So
well done, Andy.
It's very rough, but here we go. So Veronica was talking about her magical journey, and she had sent me lots of pictures, but I got a few of them together. So this is one that we saw in the flyer, at the event flyer. This was actually the Veronica that I met. I believe when she got married, she and Lennon dressed in white and got married on Baku on their horses. This may well be one of her wedding pictures. I'm not sure. So this is a signature picture from Veronica. This is a picture that I was trying to show you where you were seeing only the screen. And it shows you the kind of grouping that could happen at Healing with Horses, Being with Horses. You'll see that she has a range of ages and cultures in there. There's expat kids as well as local kids and everything in between. and a range of ages. And they're also a mix of differently abled children mixed in with children who are not differently abled in that way, because integrating them is very important at Healing with Horses, Being with Horses. Giving the children who have challenges the opportunity to mingle with children who don't have those same challenges, and forming community and socializing and networking and getting comfortable together. Because especially in our country, it's very often that if you have any kind of challenge, you are segregated or kept home or kept away from your peers. And of course, it has impact. She's coming back in now. That has an impact on your development in so many ways. So Healing with Horses, Being with Horses allows the children with different abilities to mingle so that they experience that togetherness and that acceptance and sharing and doing things together and learning together. And the horses are the central theme. And Veronica is the conductor of that orchestra. And so it's a very important and I think magical process that they offer to the children of Tobago. And very, very valuable. I believe that they are now they'd be considered one of the most important institutions or NGOs in Tobago for their work with these children. And Veronica, if you're back, you're back. Yes, I have been talking for you, my dear. So now you can take it back. Anything more you want to say about this picture?
It is, yeah, one of our big summer camps. I think it was one of the biggest summer camp we had. We rented the goat race facility, the Buko integrated facility in Buko. In 2013, that was 2013, we had 150 kids and 50 volunteers.
I was one of them, right?
Yeah. Wow, you picked it up so greatly. This Slack time, sorry, my laptop. I'm in the Love and Magic Info Center right now with some wonderful volunteers behind me, Zeynep and Hima. They are making name tags right now for our sessions. So it's really live, you know. We are good. I'm still the face from Healing with Horses, but there are so many more people behind me, and there are great directors also. Who we have a vet on board who helps us with the animals, caring for 12 horses. If we wouldn't have Dr. Leah Pushit on board, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. And Kristen Hackett, he's a marine pilot, but he's doing amazing things for Healing with Horses. And of course, my husband, he's the vice president. He doesn't like to be on camera and he doesn't like to talk, but without him, nothing would happen. You know, whatever you see built up at the park, Lennon built and we painted, you know. And then we have about 35 active volunteers and office staff, Nixon, right now working.
They're a big deal. Veronica, I put a few pictures together, so I'm just going to flick to the next one. Okay, so that was one of your annual summer camps, and this is a Being with Horses ride, correct?
Right. This is basically. Nixon, can you go outside, please, with them? Thank you. All right. So this is the picture I actually wanted to speak about when we got cut off. A picture which was taken in 2010. A good while ago. Abigail Hadid took that picture. At that point, we only had 5 horses. You would see myself in the center with Shavari, the horse we rescued from Friendship Estate. And then the gentleman in orange is Rajesh Dobal, a Trinidadian who also has an NGO.
I remember him. Yes.
He's a triple amputee, so he's riding our horses. And, you know, for me, that is so symbolically, you don't need to kick the horses. You don't need to ride them with harsh equipment. Our horses are ridden without a metal in the bits. And this is also why we are not affiliated with another stable in Trinidad and Tobago, because we are riding bitless and sometimes even bridleless. So you see myself, I'm riding only with a neck ring around it's basically like a dog collar, you know? And the students which are here since a good while, they all love to learn riding only with a neck ring. Two ladies in the back, Sally and Della Casa and Meredith Novak, friends of ours, they came and brought Rajesh Dobal. All those people are not horseback riders beside Daniel Brimmercom and myself. I love that picture because it really talks about the integration, about celebration of life, about being in nature, about believing in yourself, believing in your strength. We can do it together as a team. We as people, we are also social animals, the horses are herd animals. They need each other, they heal each other. A horse by itself, can't really, doesn't have the joy as a horse living in a herd. Like dogs also need other dogs once in a while, because they're dogs and horses are horses and people are people. And
Veronica,
yeah.
I also, can I share something about this picture for me too, how it moves me? What I see here is, of course, the beauty, the combination of strength and gentleness, connection, love. You are definitely the power center of this group, but everybody there has overcome. The gentleman in the orange t-shirt, he's a triple amputee. Guys, he's riding a horse with one arm. Everything else has been cut off. And he's on this animal that weighs thousands of pounds, and they connected, they're communing. He has no bridle, he has no stirrups. He is riding it as close to as contact to nature as you can. And he is loving every minute of it. He is really in connection with the horse. The gentleman on the other side with the blue t-shirt was working with healing with horses, as Daniel. And he was a young boy who came to them with autism, but his skill was seeing things, and he was your photographer, right, Veronica, for a while. And that process, Daniel connected with the horses. He was an excellent photographer, and that experience of his at healing with horses, being with horses for a couple of years, gave that boy the wings to fly. He's now studying something in Canada. He came from serious autism. And the other two people are healing with horses supporters. You said one was Sally Ann, and I can't remember the other one. And let's say they're people who just believe in healing with horses and their mission. This picture captures everything, Veronica, and I'm so glad that you shared it. Thank you. I have one more.
I have to just speak for the horses again. Also, those horses, neglected horses, we see on the very right, Jennifer, a wild horse living in the rainforest, and then Mr. Devo, ex-racehorse, biting people. He came here, but what is also important, a happy horse has a happy rider. That is one of our slogans. Give the horses the space, the freedom, what they need. And it's about the balance, Don't just use a horse as a sport equipment. If you treat your horse as an equal team partner, then you will have so much bliss and joy with your team partner horse. And you can see that in the picture as well. Yes.
Thank you. We have a question from Mitzian on Facebook. She said, her question in particular pertaining to others who have therapy horses for people to walk through healing. Mitzian, I'm not quite sure what your question is. So if you could write it again for me, I'll check and we can ask Veronica. But you also have a couple, she's amazings. Whoops. Oh, there you are. This is the last picture that I was able to capture. It's one that, again, shows how Veronica rides. There is no feeling that she is controlling the horse. She is communing with the horse. Welcome to Healing with Horses, Being with Horses. We have, Veronica, is there anything else you'd like to say while I check for questions?
And this is basically how the students who come here regularly to ride, they at the end choose to ride with no saddle and no equipment. It's the trust and the bond, If you have a great relationship with your dog, you can walk your dog in the woods without a lead rope. Maybe not in the city and not on the road, but this is out in nature, one horse, one person together, and you have that special connection, which is really fulfilling and empowering. Yeah. So I engage, and we have over lockdown, we did free frontline worker sessions, which was a beautiful experience for us. We had we were able to go with the horses on the beach. The Prime Minister gave an exemption to go on the beach every day with the horses, which was fabulous.
Oh, yes.
And we invited the frontline workers to go with us. So they came in touch with that power of the equines, which a lot of locals, as you don't grow up around horses, it's like, okay, I'm not sure, and I actually don't want, but so we were able to spoon feed some of the policemen and nurses and doctors, and they got a glimpse of being in healing with horses and how empowering it is. And some of them came back with their families, which was really, really nice. So we were able to share more of our passion.
2 questions. What is the difference between healing with horses and being with horses? That's one question.
So being with horses is a business which is a partnership business of myself and my husband. This is how healing with horses is still sustainable. You were not supported by the government. Besides, we are on state land, which is beautiful, and we are very grateful for that we are able to develop that beautiful park on state land and also let the horses graze at state land. But monetary is basically the business which is charging people for their experience with the horses out in nature, and they pay a good bit of money to get a tour, and this is how we pay our bills and pay our supporters.
And healing with horses is?
Healing with Horses is an NGO, which is inviting schools and specially abled children and adults to commune, to learn riding, to work here, to be a part of being, also being with horses. Some of them are employed by being with horses. Healing with Horses is a foundation which caters for the specially abled population of Trinidad and Tobago, free of charge. So if you guys have someone in your circle who would like to come and visit a session and visit the park, please call the office here at Bucco Point. And the office number is 307-3425. And you can see that also all the information on Facebook of Healing with Horses, or on Instagram. We have a great homepage, which is healing-with-horses.com.
I hope that everybody in the tribe joins you, follows you, likes you, and shares you. Now, we had one more question, and then we will call it a wrap. Farida asked if you could talk about how the horses choose their humans when they're going for a ride.
Mm-hmm. So first of all, our guests, they learn about the story of each horse. So each horse has a story, just like you have yours and I have mine. They have different ages, they have different personalities, they have different habits, and you would see them in the riding ring. We have a beautiful riding arena where the horses are being, they're free in there. And we are going in that circle. And we are actually kneeling down and we're stretching our hand out and we're calling their names. And horses do respond. They do respond, some of them to their names, some of them to body posture, some of them are to energies, and we are inviting the horses in our space. So as a horseback riding instructor in Germany, the horses were in stables. I go to the horse and I pull the horse out for my riding student. And this experience which we give you is that you are inviting the horse in your space. So it has a lot to do with mentally and emotionally, you need to open up for that experience. You have to, take a deep breath, open your heart, open your palm, literally like that, and call the horse towards you. It's like calling a stray dog on the beach to you, how do you do that? If you really want to meet that stray dog, if you really want to give him a little sausage, you will find a way, to get to him. And there are horses who are very shy and there are horses who are very dominant, and there are horses who are followers, and there are horses who are leaders, and there are young horses. The youngest one is 5. So a horse is fully grown when they are 5. And the oldest horse we have up at the park is 33. And that is also something I would like to I do educate people that a horse is fully grown when they are 5, and in Trinidad they have to do their first race with 2. So lifespan of a horse, yes, a racehorse, an ex-race horse is sometimes just 15 or 20 because they get arthritis, they have tendon problems, they have joint problems. It's like let the child be a child, let the horse develop himself naturally, and later on when it's 5 years and then the bones are all fully developed, then we can start riding a horse. It's like, hey, God didn't make horses for people to ride, God made horses first of all to be a horse, right? And then we can invite them in our space, and we can ask them to be our friend. And literally I practiced that, that the key with Jennifer, that was basically, yes, I invited her in my space, but I really had to show her my commitment, my love in all ways. I went there, I went out of my ways many times and went up to space side, and I showed her, yes, I'm going to take care of you, and you take care. And she now, she gave us a big gift. Mm-hmm.
She surely did. Veronica, I'm going to put us back so we can see everyone. Are there any questions in the Zoom room for Veronica, or shall we thank her and let her go? She has to go back to her horses.
No
Okay.
questions, just a sincere thank you, Veronica. That was so special. I love seeing animals, taken, not taken care of, allowed to be themselves, allowed to be the wonderful, marvelous creatures they are.
Veronica, I just wanted to say that I went out with you on Monday. I did the trail ride on the beach with my friends. It was the school group, 4 of us, and it was truly an amazing experience. And we each spoke about it after, and we felt that connection and bond with the horses that actually chose us. And apparently Shavari was the one that chose me, and you said he was like a natural leader, a little bit stubborn sometimes, but I like to not use the word stubborn. I'll say strong-willed if it's gonna be back at me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was an amazing experience. And I just want to thank you for that. And we will most certainly be letting our peers and our friends know about it. And it's definitely something that everyone should try at least once. I've ridden horses before doing the tourist stuff, but this was the first time I've actually ridden a horse in the ocean. And for me, that was very special because I feel a very strong connection to the ocean. So here I was on this animal in the ocean, and you even made me stand on the horse. And I wasn't sure I could do such a circus act, but I did it, and it was great. So thanks very much.
Now, I have to tell everyone before you get worried, she doesn't ask everybody to stand on the horse. Rita, she asked to stand on the horse. So don't be worried. You can come and just be on the horse. With that, Veronica, I thank you so much. It was a wonderful time. It was wonderful sharing time with you, and I already know your story, but I'm so glad that we can use this avenue to share your story with, I believe, the entire tribe is going to watch this. And who knows, you may find lots and lots of people sending you kisses. We're getting kisses on Facebook, but lots and lots of people connecting with you through the tribe or because of this session on the tribe. I sincerely hope that. Many blessings. Thank you so much for your time, your love, your care, and your personal power. Namaste.
Thank you. Until soon.